You know, the wall means a lot because when we were developing the concept for Good Pie, we wanted to tell the story of the grandma pizza. Every great pizzeria not just should have a story, but they should always be every day committed to past, present, and future of pizza. So this is our connection to the past.
We're at Good Pie in Las Vegas, Nevada with Vincent Rotolo, who has 2 locations, one in Las Vegas and one in Henderson. Today, he's gonna show us around his operation, shows where he makes the dough, how he runs, and takes a look at his businesses before they open. And we're kind of just gonna follow him around. And he's gonna show us his 2 locations and the difference between the 2. We'll also show you a little bit of the pizza at the end of this. So stay tuned. Vin has a ton of energy and you're gonna be in for a great episode.
So these are all grandmas?
Yeah.
Whose grandmas are these?
Random different grandmas. My grandmother's here, my business partners. There's Shaylin Brand's grandma, Chef Brian Howard.
So is it like customers' grandmas too?
Customers too, my friend Michael DePerry. Chris Decker, that's Chris Decker and his grandma right there.
Oh, wow.
Chris and his grandma there. Lars Smith, that's his grandma. At the other store, a woman came in who was like, she was walking around and I thought maybe she was a little tipsy, I wasn't sure. And she was looking at the wall and then she like collapsed. So I thought, hey, this girl might be dehydrated, like Vegas problems.
Yeah.
I went over to her and I held her up and I said, hey, are you okay? Are you all right? And she just was hysterically sobbing. I got her a glass of water and we talked and I said, I just want to make sure you're okay. Do I need to call help? And she said, that's my grandmother on your wall. And she's passed. When I saw her on your wall, I just lost it.
That's crazy.
And it was Lars Smith's cousin who didn't know that I know him, who happened to be in Vegas for a bachelorette party or something.
That's crazy.
And then she was randomly looking at the wall, saw her grandmother, and completely like was overcome with emotion. So it's so amazing, and that's the power of this wall. Like,
I got goosebumps.
there's an emotional connection that we have in our food. Like everything I do, I have to be connected to emotionally.
Yeah.
And then now I'm learning to regulate that a little more because sometimes that gets crazy. But the grandma wall is our emotional connection to the past and to the history. We have some other like inanimate objects that is our emotional connection to technology and to the future, like our mixer or our dough roller, some of the technology that we're utilizing. Every great pizzeria not just should have a story, but they should always be every day committed to past, present, and future of pizza. Like how can pizza history be alive in here today? How can what's going on right now be alive in here today? And how can we have our fingers on the pulse of the future of pizza? So this is our connection to the past. On Thursdays, I like to come early to the restaurants, check in with the team, make sure there's no issues with deliveries or issues with product, make sure staffing is good, everybody's happy. And then I'll do a walkthrough, I'll check on maintenance issues. One of my pet peeves is I hate anything broken in the restaurant. Like even the menus when the corners get a little frayed, we get rid of them. I don't like any little signs of wear and tear. We want the place to look like it's been here for 100 years, but we don't want it to look like no one's been taking care of it, right?
There's a difference.
So this is being replaced today.
There's only,
and it's late. Yo, but that matters. By the way, these were just replaced. Those were even worse. So to keep these looking good, because we wipe them down with soap and water, he's like, no,
oil,
use
right?
Armor All.
Yeah.
Armor All, oil, Armor All, whatever. I just do a walkthrough. I just look for little nicks and dinks. I gotta replace mats, they've been ordered. There was a water leak up here that has now been fixed. I'm just double checking.
So this is your routine. Thursdays is like your inspection.
Thursday's my walkthrough every day, but Monday, Tuesday are admin days. I'm at the office. Monday, Tuesday, I have my daughter.
Okay.
So I drop her at school. I go to the office. I'm reviewing numbers. I'm in spreadsheets. I'm in graphs. I'm in payroll. I'm in bank accounts. I'm with accountants. I'm with attorneys. I'm looking at leases for new deals. I'm living in a world of administration. And then I come here for lunch and just check in, but I'm not here in the mornings, I'm there. We also have sometimes an issue with fruit flies this time of year, so I do a fruit fly inspection. The bar's looking good. Now I check the oven, the coupone. So we got Pizza Master in the back, and then we got a coupone as our slice oven. So this thing will get cleaned out. They'll put the degreaser, they'll spray and clean the window. You'll see that thing will be crystal clear before we open at 11. But I just check for any cracks. When the restaurant's 5 years old, bro, stuff starts to go.
Do you guys sell slices out the window?
100%,
oh, wow.
All day long.
That's awesome.
Especially in good weather. We try to get them to come in, but now we have this patio here. I don't know if you guys actually could see it.
Yeah.
We got the patio with bar stools. So we got about 12 seats out here. You know, we did a deal with Tito's Vodka. So Tito's is our sponsor and our partner for all the vodka sauce we're doing. Everything up here looks good. I also do the temps. Just check the temperature of the fridges, and then I'll check in with the guys. Also, here's another one of my pet peeves. I look at the wine, like see, there should be a date on here for the date that this was open. It's not there. And this one too. How am I gonna know when this was open? After 3 days, that's actually good. I was probably open yesterday. We have a manager logbook. I'm just gonna take a picture of this and say, yo, who's the closing manager, right? And why are we not making sure that the date the bottle was open was written on before we leave? That glass of wine costs 13 bucks.
Yeah.
It's real. Like, I don't want a glass of wine that's 5 days old and no one knows it. So these guys are doing par bakes right now of Detroit's. You can see that.
Yeah.
You can smell it too. Look at this. This got a nice lift. I could see on this one.
Oh, those are soft too, huh?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Look at that. That's what we want. This just came out of the oven. Look at that. Super airy, fluffy, light,
That looks
nice
amazing.
rise. So these would be Detroit's and Sicilians. Those are the small ones. Those are grandmas that came out for today. They're proofing now. So we just pulled them out of the fridge.
Do you use the same dough for all three?
Yes. This is our dough room. That's Tracio. He's making dough. Hefe, let's just say hi to Tracio. How are you today?
Good.
How's the dough?
Good.
He's got the roller going, right?
You like that one?
We love it. It works great. This is from Empire. But the Ball-O-Matic, my boys have been using that lately.
Yep.
Alberto from Forza, he's the guy to see for those rollers right
Yeah.
now. He's great. So as you can see, we got the salt, we got the oil, Fiore glute. There's our starter, pata fermente method that we're doing, water meter chiller.
I saw this at Dan. We went to Brazza. They have
Yeah.
a similar system to that.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's great. I learned about this from John Arena, like I learned about a lot of other things.
Yeah.
So here's the beauty of this machine. Tracio's gonna probably make 9 bags of dough today.
What?
3 batches, 9 bags by himself in an 8-hour shift. So he's gonna do 3 batches, 3 bags a batch.
Wow.
And that's for both restaurants. Look at the temp, we got 67 degrees in here. At night, this is a proofing room. It goes up to 75, 80 degrees. So we proof our Detroits overnight.
Wow.
And then during the day, we keep our dough at the right temp. Thank you, Tracio.
You're welcome.
This will be gone in like 2 days.
Holy crap.
This is done.
So you have 2 pizzerias that you serve?
2 pizzerias that we're serving now, but the dough room has capacity to do up to 4 locations that are doing the volume we're doing here.
Who delivers this dough?
Well, initially, I looked into getting a refrigerated truck, and that was no good.
Yeah.
Then I was gonna get a minivan, and that was just like not cost effective. So we talked to our friends at Greco. They have a refrigerated truck. They're making deliveries here almost every other day. Like, at least we get 4 deliveries a week now, because volume is increased, and like,
Do you have a basement here, or is that all the
no
space you have?
basement. This
That's
is
all.
it.
Yeah.
This is it. There's no basements in Vegas, bro. It's like hard rock.
So they come deliver here, pick up the dough, go to the next store, deliver the dough?
Exactly, because they have deliveries at both locations.
Yeah.
So when they come here to drop off, they load up dough, and then when they drop off over there, they drop off the dough there, and their truck's refrigerated.
If someone's watching this and they want, just go to your vendor that you're using and be like, hey, how can we work together to do this? Something like that.
I don't know if it's Greco.
Yeah.
Maybe. We have a special relationship with them. We give them as much business as we can. And when you look at the volume of business we're doing with them, that's the kind of partner they are. That's just an option. Like, we have a bunch of solutions, we got a bunch of problems, and then we get together and say, hey, let's match a problem to a solution. And that was one of 4 ideas, and it's working.
Right.
But it may not work forever.
Right.
So you gotta have a plan B, plan C, plan D, you know? So this is great. So now that I know this is solid, let's go to Henderson. All right, we made it. Traffic wasn't too bad, right?
No, it wasn't bad at all.
So we opened this October 13th, 5 months. So it's great. This is a neighborhood spot, you know what I mean?
Henderson's
There's
more of like the suburbs of Las Vegas. Right?
definitely more like a suburb. We got a lot of medical offices. There's a hospital right on the other side. This is gonna take a little more time, but we're slowly growing. The thing that's different that I love are these awnings have stripes. I always wanted an awning. I love the black and white, it's so nostalgic. And then that one's a pizza bar, and this is a pizzeria restaurant. So it's a bigger space, it's more seating. You can see we got the grandma walls going, right? You got the same booths, the same floor, the same tile, the ceiling. The only difference here is that the bar is a service bar.
Not a sit-down bar.
It's not a bar you can sit at. The laws are a little different in Henderson, and you know, in order to have someone sit at a bar, I'd have to kind of get involved in the gaming machines. I don't want to be in that business, so we have the same exact menu. And the other difference is we got a pizza master oven here. We wanted to get the coupone, I actually bought another coupone, but it didn't fit. I like getting antiques in the restaurants, so like over there, you just saw we had the antique record player as the host stand. This is the same thing. It's a vintage record player, and that's where records would go, and that's where we could store different things. when you look at these guys, you could lift this up.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
actually an old record player in there.
That's cool.
I got this piece at someone's house. You could see it's an old radio. I can't really open it now. You're gonna knock everything over.
Yeah, that's fine.
But if you look in here, there's dials, it's an old radio. This is an old piece from France from the late 1800s.
Wow.
And then I love these old phone booths, so I got this old phone to put here, and we put it in just to
great.
give it an old vibe. But it's still the wainscoting. John's Pizza was my first job in pizza, 1985. That's just a tribute to John's. If you're trying to save money on your build out, you can get the styrofoam or plastic. This is real tin. I don't believe in designing having the fake version, like a fake wood floor. I won't put it in. I'll put wood or I'll put something else. And it's crazy because Vegas was built on the fake facade of everything. It's the fake New York, New York, and the fake Paris, and the fake Bellagio. But I'm not gonna ever have a touch point or any material in my restaurant that lacks authenticity, because that is one of my keys that I lead with from an experience perspective. If it's not authentic, it's not authentic. And I can't try to live in a world of authenticity if the floor is fake wood. It just goes against my sense of truth. Like, it's weird, like my values. So how do you get a bar and a slice window in 22 feet? We just divided it in the middle. So from here down is a service bar, and from here down is the slice window. And then we dropped this middle, when I designed it, to be right in front of that main door.
Did they make you drop that?
No, I did it myself.
Okay.
Now, there is ADA compliance that this does fit into that, but this is not a sit-down bar. So I don't have to have this as
Okay.
ADA, because no one, but if I had seats here,
You'd have to have it
I'd
that
have
way?
to have it low for wheelchair
Yeah,
accessibility, right? But I don't, because I don't have seats. Most of the slice eaters want to sit here,
Yep.
and most people dining in for full, like the full dining experience, want to sit there.
What's the percentage of takeout to dine-in in this one?
It's higher.
Yeah.
It's like 50% takeout. Because
Really?
it's
That's
the
pretty high.
suburbs.
That's more than I thought it would be.
It's really high. But I think the dine-in's catching on. We're still doing great numbers, but it doesn't compare to that other. I mean, that business has a 4-year head start. But here's the great part. If I look at the first year of Main Street to the first year of this, we're blowing that first year away. So I'm feeling confident about it. I feel good about it. Oh, let's show you the proclamation. This is great. When we opened on October 13th, the county commissioner came down and he gave us a proclamation. And October 13th in the state of Nevada is hereby known as Good Pie Day.
Really?
Great. All the things we've gotten, awards, accolades, top 25 pizza in America was insane. We got that. But this is, I'm most proud of, because this is a local award. This is the state of Nevada. This is like, we have a day that's a Good Pie Day. And every year we're gonna have a big festival here
That's
to
great.
celebrate that. And that's like, I'm super proud of that. I'm super proud of that. Good morning. Oh, there's Rachel. Rachel's our kitchen manager here.
Hi, morning.
You making pizzas?
Absolutely.
So you can see the layout of the kitchen completely different.
Oh, yeah.
Right? This is the prep area, and then that's the pizza area. And then everything's all on one line, where on Main Street, it's in all different locations. We also have 2 different walk-ins here. There was already a restaurant here, but we reconfigured everything. John's out here prepping, he does it all. Look at that, oh my gosh.
And this is for the pastas you do?
Yep, all the pastas. We do a lot more pasta dishes here in the pasta station. Everything's organized, portioned out. This is a vodka sauce, that's our cream sauce, so our Alfredo, the fryers, the line, and then these are the proofers. And we bought this pizza oven actually last year at the show. I bought this.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Are these for slices or are these for an order?
They're for slices.
Slices?
Yeah. We got the grandmas going. Rachel, watch your temperature. See this? You're at 570, but if you click, you're only at 545. So let's get that temp up. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna reset this. Look, off, on, and now you'll be in turbo mode. That's just another trick for Pizza Master guys. If you lose temp, you gotta reset the oven on and off, turbo mode, it'll bounce it back up. So before we bake those pies, we wanna make sure they're correct. So that's at 560, look, 559, that's perfect. So she's making a round pie. This is where the round pies will go.
So you use 3 different ovens, 3 different styles in each oven?
Exactly.
One style
exactly.
in each oven?
Yep. Sicilian Detroit, the round pies, the grandma pies. Those are the par bakes that are cooking at below 500. That's how we like them. They're just, the cheese we're using, we blend brick cheese with grande. So the brick cheese is gonna be the crust on the outside and the grande is gonna be the top. I like the flavor of grande better, but the brick cheese gives you that crust that you need. I tried all brick cheese and I just didn't like it. And I tried all grande and the crust was inconsistent, so we blend those cheeses. We go through a ton of this. We finish a lot of our pizzas with it. I am not using it in my dough. I'm using a blended oil and dough. I know there's been a big debate over the years of like using a higher quality olive oil in your dough mix. I couldn't tell the difference. I tried it, and I tried this, and the dough was exactly the same for me. So I also have a higher percentage of oil than a lot of other people. And the reason is I'm reheating slices. And that higher content of oil and fat, it helps to preserve the look and feel of that slice and the texture of that slice when it's sitting out for an hour or two in a window. So my oil is like 3% now. And most people are not doing 3% oil. Oh look, this is our Mike's Hot Honey sign. I'm getting ready to get this out right now. I'm so excited for this. V, can I have a scissor? Someone told me something yesterday, I'll share it with you guys. Someone came in to Good Pie, a Pizza Expo attendee that I never met, and they knew who we were, they saw us on Instagram. I think this guy was from St. Louis. And he goes, yo man, your place is so cool. But I've been to cool places that were too cool, and your place is like accessible cool. And I'm like, no one's ever said that before. And it made me feel happy because subconsciously, like without knowing, that's kind of what we're going for. But you ever walk in a place that's too cool that you don't feel welcome? Like they're too cool to be nice. Or the staff is like too hot to like be like deliver hospitality. Those places, I don't want to be in there. But that was the best compliment I got. All right, moment of truth. Yo, it's perfect.
You mentioned a couple times about partners, your partners in these businesses. How do you find partners? And then when you do find them, like, how do you trust them?
I think the real question is, how do you get financing to open your business without losing control?
Yes.
Because
I think that's the other thing too, like how much percentage do you...
I got offered deals where I get 30% of my own business. Like, go fuck yourself. Sorry, like that ain't happening. I had a lot of help. Advisors, different friends, people. There's so many ways to structure deals.
I think they want to know, how do you know how much percentage to give up and for how much?
As little as possible. I was lucky because I found a place that was already a pizzeria and I could open a small space for a very little bit of money.
To get started.
Yes, so in the very beginning of the first place, I owned 85% of it. I only had to give up 15% to kind of get that open. You want to give up as little equity as possible. I know guys right now at the show wearing jackets with a patch of a name of a company that they own 15% of and they're running around like they're owners. They're masquerading and it's fake. You don't own shit. You don't own it. You're an employee. They don't have access to their bank account. You're a minority owner and you're a face. And someone out there who's your money guy behind you is using you, pretending that you go run around and be at the Pizza Expo and compete like you own something and you don't. And when the business has financial success, you're not gonna reap that benefit. And when the business has huge losses, they're gonna clip you and you're out in the cold. You need to not try to be right all the time. Like when I started making better decisions is when I was looking at self-improvement. And I was looking at saying, hey man, how can I have a core set of values, have a perspective, but also be open to like growing and learning? You have to admit you're wrong. People know me, they know I'm not a humble guy, I'm a confident guy. Some people think I'm an arrogant guy. I'm sometimes overconfident. I'd rather be overconfident than low self-esteem or low self-worth. There's a fine line of the middle of that, but the truth is that you gotta find a way to add value to your name as a brand. And that's how you can get investors that you attract them. Nowadays, get an uni oven, get a Gosney oven, get your phone, get out there, make pizza and build a following. If you want a brick and mortar, if I was starting right now, I'd be going into the Gosney booth, I'd be working with those guys, I'd be out there, I'd be the guy who was making the most appearances trying to get sponsorship with a Gosney or an uni oven. And I'd be out there like literally doing every event I could do. I'd get as much exposure as I possibly could do for free. I'd have my server job, my bartender job for my survival gig, and I'd be out there working pizza as much as I possibly could. I would live on as little as possible, working 3 nights a week as a bartender, and the rest of those other 5 days in the week, that's right, 3 + 5 is 8. You gotta have 8 days in a week if you wanna come up, bro. You gotta fucking work. No one's gonna hand this shit to you. You gotta go after it and get it. I was making pizzas in my backyard, hosting parties before it was popular to do on Instagram. That's literally how I kind of started, just making pizza and getting better. But I was lucky because I had 20 years of restaurant operational management experience under my belt. So when I went to an investor and said, hey, I think this is gonna do 2 million. They were like, how do you know? I was like, because I'm running a restaurant that's doing 2 million right now. And it's squeezing out 20% profit. So you also have to put your own money at risk. So if you wanna own 70% of the business, You gotta find a way to take 70% of the risk. How are you doing that? Get loans, get family to invest, get creative. AI will write you a business plan in 5 fucking minutes. You can't write a plan? Literally. So there's so many ways to do it. I wish I would have done it 10 years earlier and gotten more aggressive. Paulie G, I watched him open a restaurant. I was at his restaurant the first day he opened. And I was watching Paulie dance, drinking limoncello on the first night he opened. The sheer joy and pleasure on that man's face. And I thought I could be better. I was like, yo, this guy doesn't even know the restaurant business. He doesn't have a high restaurant IQ, but what he has is a love and passion for what he's doing, and you could figure all that out. I got 2 decades and I'm sitting in his restaurant and I wish it was my restaurant. And you know, sometimes you gotta have that feeling of like, stop being afraid. Whether it's afraid of failure, afraid of success, afraid of people turning you down. I was pitching people just to practice pitching. I didn't give a shit if they were gonna invest or not. I got really good at that 1-minute elevator pitch. Here's what I'm doing, here's the problem it's solving, here's why I think it's gonna be great, here's the story, here's what it's gonna make, here's how much I need, here's how much you're gonna get back. Are you interested? Like, that's not easy to do in 60 seconds. Practice that thing. Practice it to yourself in the mirror. Practice it to your friends that you're around. Make pizza friends. Come to the pizza expo. Go to seminars. Like, figure it out. But guess what? It's not as hard as you think it is. Like, before you knew how to swim, you thought you were gonna drown. Everything that you're trying to do is hard until you just do it. Like, don't be afraid. Like, how was your first podcast you did? Was it good?
No.
How many did it take before you got good?
25 to 50.
Make 25 or 50 pizzas. Fail on 25 to 50 pitches.
Yeah.
Start figuring out, there's money out there. But if you build yourself a brand that's attractive and special and unique and different and it's all yours, the money's gonna come to you. Because there's money out there. Money's gonna come to you.
Yep.
So,
I love that.
You know, that's true.
Thanks for watching this episode of the Pizza Insider. Check out Vinnie and Good Pie. We will link everything in the description below this video, their website, their Instagram, so you can go follow them. And if you are in the Las Vegas area, whether you're there on vacation or you happen to live there, please go check out Good Pie. Say hello to Vinnie. He's a great guy, great operator, and they're really making some fantastic pizza. The grandma pizza, highly recommend it, as well as the New York style. Highly recommend those 2 styles of pizza if you are gonna get some pizza at Good Pie. So thank you so much for tuning into the video. We'll see you right back here next week.